Hey, my name is Farid, and I'm starting this channel to document my entire journey from zero all the way to 6 to 7 figures doing a clothing brand from absolute scratch. Now, before I start anything, I think it's important for me to properly introduce myself. So, I pretty much started my first business when I was 19 years old, and it's been around almost a year actually since I did that. And the business was a full-scale video production studio. I did that for around 6 to 8 months, and within that time, I learned how to do sales, how to influence, how to do a lot of the things that are considered foundational in business. The reason why I want to make these videos is because a lot of people out there want to start their business, but there's just a lot of gurus out there who are spouting a lot of nonsense. I think it'll be a lot more authentic and a lot more genuine for me to, instead of talking about how to start a business, actually start one and document it. This is one thing to talk about, I made $300,000 doing X, compared to I'm going to make $300,000 doing X and I'm going to show you how I do it throughout the series. I'm going to be starting a clothing brand from scratch because I realized that since I was a young age, I was doing a lot of graphics for birthday invitation cards and thumbnails for YouTube videos, and I was doing video editing for all those Minecraft videos that I used to record as I played video games with my friends. I've had some time to reflect, and I realized that I take pride in anything that I do and create, and that pride is I made that from scratch, and I'm so happy that I did it. I love fashion and I love to dress up, especially when it comes to the gym. So I've been gymming for around 5 years now, and this clothing brand is going to be centered around people who gym. Now, I don't want to start another gym shark. I want to do something different. So I noticed that there is a trend where people go to the gym in streetwear clothing, and I do the same thing as well. But what's funny is that there's not a lot of prominent brands out there that are marketed in a way that would cater to the demographic of people who go to the gym in streetwear. Let me just show you real quick. This is just some of the mood boarding that I've done to identify who my customer is going to be, because from what I've learned doing business so far is that it's super important to identify who you're going to serve and who you're going to make products for. So right now, when I start a brand, I want to make sure that I nail who I'm going to be selling to. What do they like? What do they hate? What are their complaints? And so I'm going to be targeting people aged 18 to 30 who go to the gym, and anyone who wants to look fashionable and shit. I want to make like really neat custom pieces that are really high quality. I'm going to be making sure that the fabrics are very nice. Luxury, not necessarily to the point where it's $1,000. It's like accessible luxury in a way where people can not only wear their clothing to the gym, but they can also wear it out. And I notice that the people that I do want to target are people who they love the baggy aesthetic of the Asian streetwear style, like these guys pretty much. And I also really love a silhouette. It's like super baggy, small waist, and also cropped fashion, like these cargo pants functional and these unconventional 3/4 sleeve pump covers. This is just a polo from Essentials, but basically it's gonna cater to people who also like that aesthetic, and that's just the start of it. Basically, I'll have to see how the market reacts to these kinds of clothing items specifically in the gym and whether or not this will work. But if it does, then that will be my entire brand identity going forward and my entire style. So if you're starting a clothing brand, then what I would suggest you do is go to Pinterest and look for outfits, and what kind of outfits do you actually like. Like for instance, let's just go here. I made an entire fashion mood board, which is essentially just me saving pins of outfits that I like in terms of fashion, as well as design, like different elements. Like I really like this applique, I think that's what it's called, where I sew on a bit of tags. Also like this black on black style for Burberry, and especially like the heat press vinyl on the back of shirts. These are the things that I personally really like on clothing. This is sick. Like I would really want to wear that. And so that's why I've made this mood board, is to essentially understand my style so that when I do come around to designing my own clothing items, then that would actually be reflected in it. And I can come in here and say, okay, let's make a vector mock-up of something similar like this, and then make a really detailed tech pack of, you know, what I need and what I want. This is just an example from Siegs, legend guy. All the measurements to make sure that the sample that I get from the manufacturer is like on point and they don't like fuck fuck it over because they just estimate that, oh, this is likely what the guy wants, compared to, okay, this sleeve has to be 30 centimeters long and the drop shoulder should be by this much. And I want to make sure that I really nail the tech pack as well. And so that's the reason why I'm starting with a mood board, is because I need to figure out these other items that I vibe with and items that I would want to wear. Because for me personally, when I want to start a clothing brand, right, I should be making clothes that I would wear to hedge the downside of anything fucking up. So for instance, if I get a model and I get the sample ordered in, I spent $200 plus shipping for that sample, like that's a fair bit of money to put down for one sample, especially when it's going to be custom made. That's a lot of money, okay? And no matter how hard I try, if the marketing doesn't seem to work, then it doesn't fucking matter anyways, because I'm still going to be wearing that piece. So I'm hedging the downside in the sense that I don't have to throw away the clothing item if the sample doesn't work. Like, I'm still going to be wearing it and I'm still going to really love it. You know what I mean? So it's that philosophy, because starting a business is risky, right? Especially in the case of a clothing brand where you have capital on the line. I've got a couple grand to spare. I'm not afraid to make sure that the sample and the garments are really good quality. I don't care how much I pay for that. It could be like $200-$300. I'm still going to spend it because I know the ROI on that is going to be fucking sick. If it works out, it's going to be so worth it. It's going to pay for itself. I guess over the next few weeks and the next few months, I'm going to be documenting literally everything, but I'm also not going to be revealing a lot of things just to make sure that I don't spread misinformation out there. I want to fail in this circumstance and learn from it and document it so that you don't have to go through the pains that I do. You know what I mean? Because some of you guys may not necessarily have a lot of money in your bank account to spare and you do want to start a clothing brand. Here I am starting a clothing brand from scratch and documenting every bit of the way so that if you're along that journey, you can see what I did right and what I did wrong. Just copy and paste my methodologies and philosophies so that perhaps you could also succeed. That's why I want to start documenting my process, the behind the scenes of this clothing brand. I've got models, my contacts, just waiting for this shoot to happen. I just need to get, first and foremost, customer and market nailed. And then I need to get the tech pack going for the first drop. Once I get the sample in, what I'm going to do is market the shit out of it on organic and see if it takes off. See if people vibe with the look of it and see if the style of clothing is something that people vibe with. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.